Hey, this is Drew from Moon Audio. I think you'll notice that we didn't do a Tech Tuesday question this week because we did a bunch of really funny Austin Power voiceover videos for the release of the new Mojo 2. Hope you enjoyed those. I'm going to carry on with a couple of different words of advice, if you will, or tips or whatnot on how to use the Mojo 2. We're creating a guide, if you haven't seen my video yet, that it's going to be fully available on your phone and on the small screen. You'll be able to see a lot of detail about all the different colorations and what they mean and all the DSP settings, etc., so that you can use this on the go with the Poly. We're going to make that guide a lot easier for a phone for usability standpoint for you. So a couple of things I wanted to talk about today is, we've used the Mojo 2, the original Hugo, the Hugo 2, not only as a portable DAC, but also as a home DAC in your system. And one of the most popular pieces that I've used it with at a lot of audio shows, and I'm sure you guys have seen me do this before, is with the Dragon Inspire. The Dragon Inspire is a tube headphone amp, and one thing that they've omitted on these devices that you have to be careful with tube amps is that they no longer have a line-out mode on the Mojo. So the reason for this was people were accidentally leaving it in line out, plugging in their headphones, and basically blowing out their eardrums. So they've removed the line out mode. So what does this mean, and how do you set the volume for your products? You want to be a little bit careful, especially with tube amps. So the nifty thing that they did this time with the Mojo 2 as well is, and if you notice here, this light is now off right now. As you adjust the volume, it changes to turn on. When it's off, it's in the low volume setting standpoint. When it's on, you're getting into the high volume standpoint. This is for iems and headphones that need more variation because of sensitivities in volume. Well, this is also important when we're going to plug it in and use it as a DAC with our Dragon Inspire. What you're going to want to do is tube input stages, will break up a little bit if the volume is too high. So you're essentially going to want to adjust the volume, and I don't really know, depending on your tube amp, whether you're going to do it in the, we're going to call it high gain and low gain, but it's really high volume and low volume stages of the Mojo. At some point, it's going to start to cause a little bit of clipping noise in the tube input stage. It's a given. If a tube gets too much voltage, it's going to cause a little breakup and some static. So what you're going to do is you're going to start adjusting the volume until you start to hear that. Then you're going to back off that a bit. And that's where you're going to set the Mojo volume control. Then another cool feature that they've added to the Mojo is you can put it in lockout mode. So once you get it to that volume position, put it in lockout mode. They've also added the new intelligent charging mode. I forget the exact name what they call it. They have this as part of the Hugo 2 so that you don't overcharge your battery when you leave it plugged in all the time and using it as a DAC with your equipment at home. Oh, intelligent mode, okay? So essentially charge your Mojo to 100%, plug it into the USB charger, make sure that USB charger is 2 amps or higher, adjust your volume like I just explained it, put it in lockout mode, leave it go. Leave it alone, use it as your DAC now. For your tube amp. Some solid state input stages can be overdriven as well. So the same sort of rule will apply for that. It more than likely happens with tube amps before it will with solid state. It just depends on the design. Make sure that if you own a Poly, which I've got the Mojo 2 connected to a Poly, make sure to update your firmware on your Poly to 3.0 so it will work with the new Mojo 2. Very important. So we like to use the Mojo 2 with a Poly, and we make this a Roon endpoint and send the music to the Dragon Inspire for a very compact desktop solution. This is one of my favorite small compact pieces. See a written article that we did on, we've changed, you've moved into an apartment. I can't remember the exact title right now. You've moved into an apartment, you've downsized, and you need a smaller system. This Mojo 2 Poly and a small amplifier like this can make for a wonderful all-in-one headphone audio system. I hope I brought you a little bit of information and new stuff you didn't know about the Mojo 2. Look for our full in-depth review by Ricky, written and video, that goes into much deeper information than I did on my first preview video of the Mojo 2. And hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.